Life has taught us many things, but one lesson most of us learn very late is this. Happiness does not knock on the door every morning by itself. It doesn't wake you up, make your tea, and say, "Good morning, today I'll stay with you." No. Happiness is shy. Happiness is selective. Happiness waits to see whether you will make an effort or not. And that is why two people can wake up under the same roof, in the same city, with the same opportunities, and one feels grateful while the other feels frustrated. One smiles, the other complains. One feels blessed, the other feels burdened. The difference is not luck. The difference is mindset. We often say, "I will be happy when my problems are solved." But let me ask you something honestly. Have your problems ever finished? The moment one problem leaves, another one enters wearing a different dress. When you were a child, you thought happiness was getting good marks. When you got good marks, you thought happiness was getting into a good college. Then a good job, then a better salary, then marriage, then children, then their future, and somewhere along the way, happiness kept moving forward like a horizon. You keep walking, but it keeps shifting. Many people don't realize that happiness is not a destination you reach. It is a muscle you build, and like every muscle, it needs effort, consistency, and discipline. You don't go to the gym once and say, "Why don't I have 6 back abs?" In the same way, you cannot practice happiness only on good days and expect peace on bad days. Happiness is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of purpose, even in problems. We are living in a world where we are constantly connected, but internally disconnected. We have hundreds of contacts, but very few connections. We scroll through other people's lives and unconsciously compare their highlight reels with our behind the scenes struggles, and comparison is the fastest way to steal happiness. The moment you compare, you stop appreciating. The moment you stop appreciating, you start complaining. And the moment complaining becomes a habit, happiness quietly exits your life. Another challenge we face is expectations. We expect people to understand us without speaking. We expect life to be fair all the time. We expect results without patience. And when expectations are not met, frustration takes birth. The problem is not expectations themselves. The problem is unrealistic expectations placed on temporary people and unpredictable situations. When happiness depends entirely on external validation, it becomes fragile. Anyone can take it away with one comment, one rejection, or one delay. Let us also talk about the pressure we put on ourselves. We are constantly telling ourselves, "I should be better by now. I should be more successful. I should be happier." And this constant should creates guilt instead of growth. We forget that growth is not linear. Some days you move forward, some days you pause, and some days you heal. Healing days look unproductive, but they are deeply necessary. When we talk about pushing ourselves to be happy every day, we are not talking about ignoring reality or denying emotions. We are talking about developing an inner strength that allows us to face reality without losing ourselves in it. Happiness in its truest form is not excitement. It is stability. It is that calm space within you that remains steady even when life is shaking from the outside. And this understanding is important because many of us confuse happiness with constant pleasure. When pleasure disappears, we believe happiness has disappeared too. But happiness was never meant to be loud. It was meant to be deep. From childhood, we are conditioned to believe that happiness comes from achievement. Do well in school, you'll be happy. Get a good job, you'll be happy. Earn more money, you'll be happy. And so we grow up chasing milestones, collecting achievements like trophies, yet feeling strangely empty inside. Because no one taught us how to be happy in the waiting, how to be happy in the becoming, how to be happy even when things are incomplete. Life is not lived only at the finish line, it is lived in the journey. And if we don't learn to smile during the journey, the destination will never feel satisfying. The problem begins when we hand over the remote control of our happiness to the external world. One comment can ruin our mood. One delay can frustrate us. One person's behavior can decide how our entire day will go. Slowly, without realizing it, we allow situations and people to decide our emotional state. And then we say, "I am not happy," when the truth is, we have stopped choosing happiness. We have stopped protecting it. We have stopped valuing it. Another silent problem is that we are constantly running behind goals, expectations, and timelines that society has set for us. We rarely pause to ask ourselves, "Am I at peace?" We measure life in productivity, not in peace. And when exhaustion replaces enthusiasm, happiness becomes the first casualty. The heart becomes heavy, the mind becomes noisy, and even small joys start feeling distant. Most of our unhappiness does not come from big tragedies. It comes from small, repeated patterns that slowly drain our inner energy. One of the biggest problems is that we live life on autopilot. We wake up, rush through the day, sleep and repeat, without ever checking how we are actually feeling inside. When emotions are ignored, they don't disappear, they accumulate. And accumulated emotions eventually turn into irritation, negativity, and sadness without any clear reason. Another problem is our habit of resistance. We keep fighting reality. We say, "This should not have happened. That person should not be like this. Life should be easier by now." But every time we argue with reality, we lose peace. Reality does not change because we resist it. Only our suffering increases. Acceptance does not mean weakness. It means understanding that peace begins where resistance ends. We also struggle because we are constantly seeking approval. We want to be liked, praised, validated. And when validation does not come, self-doubt enters. Slowly, we start questioning our worth. But the truth is, when your happiness depends on others' opinions, it will always be unstable. You will feel confident one day and insecure the next, depending on how people react to you. Another deep problem is impatience. We want instant results, instant happiness, instant clarity. But life works in seasons. Some seasons are for growth, some for waiting, some for healing. When we rush a season, we miss its lesson. And when lessons are missed, the same pain repeats in different forms. Lastly, we forget to be kind to ourselves. We forgive others easily but judge ourselves harshly. We expect ourselves to be strong all the time, positive all the time, happy all the time. And when we fail, we criticize ourselves instead of understanding ourselves. This inner criticism slowly becomes the loudest voice in our head, and happiness finds it very hard to survive in such noise. The solution does not begin by changing the whole world. It begins by changing the way we meet the world. The first step is awareness. Pause during the day and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Not to judge it, not to suppress it, but simply to notice it. Awareness brings clarity, and clarity reduces inner chaos. When you name an emotion, it loses its power to control you. The next solution is acceptance. Life will not always cooperate with your plans, and people will not always behave according to your expectations. The moment you accept this, a great burden lifts from your heart. Acceptance does not mean you stop trying. It means you stop suffering unnecessarily. You do what is in your control and release what is not. Gratitude is another powerful solution. Train your mind to count blessings, not problems. Even on difficult days, something is still going right. The mind focuses on what you repeatedly feed it. If you feed it complaints, it grows restless. If you feed it gratitude, it grows calm. Happiness naturally grows in a calm mind. Create small daily rituals that nourish you: silence, prayer, journaling, walking, or simply breathing consciously for a few minutes. These are not luxuries, they are necessities for emotional balance. Happiness is sustained not by big events, but by small, consistent habits. Finally, learn to respond, not react. When situations test you, pause before reacting. That pause is power. In that pause, you choose peace over impulse, wisdom over ego, and every time you choose consciously, you push yourself a little closer to happiness. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Now comes the most important part: what you do after listening, understanding, and agreeing. Because awareness without action changes nothing. Happiness does not grow from good thoughts alone. It grows from repeated choices. So I invite you to make a quiet commitment to yourself. Not a dramatic promise, not something you announce to the world, but a sincere inner decision that says, from today, I will take responsibility for my happiness. Start small. Tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for your phone first, take one deep breath and remind yourself, I am alive, and that is a gift. During the day, when something goes wrong, resist the urge to complain immediately. Pause and ask, what is this moment teaching me? When someone disappoints you, choose understanding over bitterness. When you fail, choose learning over self-criticism. These small choices may look insignificant, but they shape your inner world more than you realize. Make happiness a daily practice, not a weekend activity. Protect your energy, choose your company wisely, speak kindly to others and to yourself. If you feel overwhelmed, ask for help without shame. Strength is not pretending everything is fine. Strength is being honest about what you feel and still moving forward. Push yourself gently, but push yourself consistently. Some days, pushing yourself to be happy may simply mean not giving up. Some days, it may mean letting go. And some days, it may mean forgiving yourself for not being at your best. Whatever it looks like, do not abandon yourself, because the relationship you have with yourself is the one relationship you carry for life. And when you nurture it with patience and compassion, happiness slowly becomes your natural state, not a rare visitor. As we come to the close of this reflection, remember that life will never be perfect, and happiness will never arrive fully formed at your doorstep. It is not a prize to be won, or a destination to be reached. Happiness is a companion, patiently waiting inside you, quietly ready to grow the moment you decide to nurture it. Every choice you make, every thought you entertain, every moment you decide to see the silver lining instead of the storm, is a brick in the foundation of your own joy. You have the power to create it, protect it, and share it. It does not require more money, more recognition, or more approval. It requires courage, the courage to pause, to reflect, to accept, to forgive, and to love. It requires persistence, the gentle, daily push to choose gratitude over complaint, presence over distraction, and compassion over judgment. And it requires awareness, the simple, constant noticing of the beauty, the lessons, and the possibilities that exist in your life right now. Push yourself not because life demands it, but because you deserve it. Push yourself not to escape pain, but to embrace meaning. Push yourself not for others, but for the quiet, resilient, indestructible happiness that lives inside you. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that happiness was never outside, waiting for the perfect moment. It was quietly waiting for you to wake up, choose it, and nurture it every single day. So go ahead. Push yourself gently, consistently, and with love. Smile when it is easy, and smile even when it is hard. Your journey toward happiness is not a race, and it is not a burden. It is a beautiful, lifelong practice. And with every conscious step you take, you move closer to the peace, joy, and fulfillment that you have always sought. Life becomes lighter, brighter, and infinitely more meaningful when you choose every day to be happy.